Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking about basil. More specifically, we're going to be talking about pruning, harvesting, and even propagating basil. This is actually a basil that I grow hydroponically. You don't have to. I just wanted to show you basil does extremely well when you grow it hydroponically. In fact, these roots have gotten pretty long. Now, it's okay if your basil plant has begun to flower. The flowers themselves are actually edible when it comes to basil. Not everybody likes them, so you can always snip those off. However, if your plant begins to flower, it definitely means that you should have been pruning it already. The structure of basil plant is really important, and I'm going to lift up a leaf here and you'll actually see there's a couple of nodes underneath, one on each side. This is important because if we're harvesting basil for consumption, we need to prune it in one way. And if we're trying to propagate the basil, we actually need to prune it in another fashion, and they're very similar, so let's take a look. In order to give you a better view, I'm actually going to remove this lower leaf, and you can remove all the lower leaves that you want, but be careful. In any of the steps or process that you might be doing, you don't want to take more than a third of the plant, or you may actually cause the plant to suffer. Now, for the sake of this video and education, I've just taken a single lower leaf right now. We'll keep that in mind, but that's going to give you a much better view of what we're talking about. What I want you to focus on, again, are the two nodes right here, and then kind of where they meet in regard to the main stem. If we're harvesting this plant, we'll actually cut above the junction or the node right there. That'll cause both of these nodes to then grow out in the same fashion that you see here, and you can continue to harvest the plant later on. However, if you're looking to propagate this plant, you actually want to cut it below, and this has to do with all the nutrients in the way they flow within the stem. If you cut it below and stick this end in water or even in soil, it will begin to root after some time and you'll grow another plant. Now, the plant will continue to grow in this fashion all the way up until it begins to flower. In this video, I'm actually going to be cutting up here. It's just much easier to see these because they're further developed. I'm just going to go in and snip above one of those nodes, and you may be able to see that now that that opens up. Now, at the top, and although it's barely visible, both of these nodes will continue to grow, and this plant will branch out, leading to a much bigger and healthier plant. Keeping in mind that you don't want to take more than a third of the plant, I'm actually going to leave the lower leaf on here. First one I took was simply just to give you a better view of what was going on. Harvesting basil is that simple. The plant will now continue to grow and you'll just get more basil. This basically means that over time, your basil plant will continually be producing more basil. Not only will the plant be larger, but you'll always be doubling the number of stems that are producing leaves. There's many different types of basil. This example was a Genovese or Italian basil, which is likely the one you may be having questions about. Super simple to do. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch and have a great day.